Hello and welcome to the Big D Breakdown. I am your host, Larry Lace. Join us for another episode as we dive into the latest Dallas Cowboys news from around Arlington. First, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Pondex, for sponsoring this episode. You can check them out today at pondex.com. Use the promo code Larry21 for 10% off your order. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the like button and subscribe to the podcast on all major podcast platforms. So, as we dive into our first topic, we take a look at the Dallas Cowboys Christmas games history. It's the most wonderful time of the year, football season that is. Hopefully the joy of this season will bring a merry playoff push for the Cowboys. In their over 60-year history, the Cowboys have played more games on Christmas Day than any other team in the NFL. Of the 22 games played on Christmas Day in the league's history, Dallas has played in 5. This year, the Cowboys don't play on Christmas, but they will be taking on the Washington football team the day after Christmas at AT&T Stadium. Hopefully, the players being home for the holidays in the Lone Star State with friends and family will bring good tidings against the NFC East foe. Until then, let's take a trip down. Dallas played in one of the 2 first ever games on Christmas Day in 1971. Luckily, that game brought a holly jolly W. However, in the 5 games the Cowboys have played on December 25th, they have gone just 2-3. Let's take a deeper look at the 3 of the exciting matchups. Number 1, 1971 Dallas Cowboys against the Minnesota Vikings. Dallas wins 20-12. According to the history books, the Cowboys defense in 1971 looked as good on Christmas Day as the 2021 Cowboys defense looks in the last 3 of their games. In 1971, the defense forced 5 turnovers to help Dallas dominate the time of possession. The Cowboys scored twice in the third quarter thanks to a rushing touchdown by Dwayne Thomas and a Roger Staubach pass to Bob Hayes. Number 2, 1995, Dallas Cowboys 37, Arizona Cardinals 13. This Monday night Christmas matchup between 2 NFC teams was the final game of the regular season in 1995. This W earned the Cowboys home field advantage throughout the rest of the NFC playoff picture. The victory was led by Hall of Famer Troy Aikman, who passed for 350 yards. Aikman threw 2 touchdown passes to Kevin Williams. Williams was feeling the holiday spirit as he caught a career-high 9 passes for over 200 yards. And number 3, Dallas Cowboys 26, Arizona Cardinals 27. In a Christmas Day rematch 15 years later, the Cardinals just barely squeaked by the Cowboys. Dallas dominated the game statistically, but gave up 2 pick sixes early that allowed Arizona to jump to a 21-3 lead. America's team started to stage a comeback, pulling ahead with just under 2 minutes left in the game. The Grinch on the roster was kicker David Buehler, who missed the extra point attempt. Hey, sounds like someone we know on the current squad, which gave Dallas only a 2-point lead. This left the door open for Arizona's Jay Feely to kick a 48-yard game-winning field goal. Humbug. But enough about the past. Let's talk about the team the Cowboys will be facing this Christmas weekend. The Washington football team. Even though Dallas has never played Washington on December 25th, it seems as though the NFC East rivals face each other a good amount this time of year. In the last 17 years, the Cowboys have played Washington 6 times during the week of Christmas. Dallas has won 4 of those 6 contests and hope to do the same on December 26, 2021 at AT&T Stadium. Here's how the last 6 matchups ended up. 2019, Dallas 47, Washington 16. 2014, Dallas 44, Washington 17. 2012, Dallas 18, Washington 28. 2009, Dallas 17, Washington 0. 2007, sadly, Dallas 6, Washington 27. 2004, Dallas 13, Washington 10. This Sunday's Week 16 matchup brings an opportunity for America's team to go 5-0 in the NFC East so far this season. But with the bright lights of Sunday Night Football the night after Christmas, who knows what this rivalry game will bring. Let's hope that all is bright and the offense and defense will be jingling all the way to a victory. And now let's take a look at the Cowboys versus Washington football team, Week 16. The history, the weather, key players in our projection for the Washington-Dallas game. For the second time in just 3 weeks, the Dallas Cowboys will take on the Washington football team. Although not even a month apart, these games have drastically different feelings as we head into the second matchup. The first matchup was one with NFC East supremacy and playoff implications looming large. While this game still has playoff implications in regards to the Cowboys' seeding and Washington's last gasp at a wild card spot, the NFC East is wrapped up for all intents and purposes. Washington is injury-riddled, dealing with a substantial number of COVID-19 issues across the board, and are fading as they sit at 6-8. Dallas is 10-4 and looking to improve their odds for a higher seed, as they currently hold the number 2 seed in the NFC. Before we head into the holidays, check out some thoughts on this NFC East rivalry matchup. All-time record sits at 74 wins, 47 losses, 2 ties in favor of the Cowboys. 2-0 postseason record in favor of the Washington football team. The most recent game, December 12th, 2021, Dallas Cowboys 27, Washington football team 20. In their meeting earlier this month, Dallas got out front early, but seemed to falter down the stretch. The Cowboys let Washington shrink the lead to just 1 touchdown and had the ball with a chance to tie. The Cowboys roster and coaching staff can't be pleased at that effort and what felt as if they took their foot off of the gas pedal. I fully expect Dallas to come out and look to play a 4-quarter game as they continue to find the recipe for all 3 units firing together. This rivalry always stays a little chippy and sees the emotions flaring up. I suspect no different come Sunday night in primetime, especially after the Cowboys went out of their way to stamp their logo all over Washington's sidelines by bringing their own benches. So let's take a look at the weather outlook. Obviously, they're playing at AT&T Stadium with a retractable dome and a turf field. The forecast is scheduled to be a high of 84, low of 64, very warm. Winds 10 to 11 miles per hour with gusts up to 32 to 33. The day after Christmas, very warm temperatures, a primetime night game. Can't think of a better setup to tailgate and get ready for a Cowboys game. Cowboys return home after a 3-game stretch on the road where they went 3-0. Cowboys are 4-2 at home this year, 6-2 on the road, as they welcome Washington to town. After nearly a month-long hiatus from AT&T Stadium, I have to think that the place will be a rocking, considering it is a rivalry in primetime. My gut tells me that some combination of the roof and/or end zone windows will be open as things get down to an ideal temperature in the upper 60s. If I had to pick, they open the roof and leave the end zones closed due to a little bit of wind. We shouldn't see much weather playing into this game at all, and it provides a great opportunity for the Cowboys to right the ship offensively. Now, we're going to take a look at some of the under-the-radar players. For Dallas, we got Michael Gallup, wide receiver. For Washington, Ricky Seals-Jones, tight end. Simply put, Dallas needs to figure things out offensively. For about the last month, as it looked like the offense can't find any sort of rhythm or continuity. They take 1 step forward and 2 steps backwards with a drop, penalty, or red zone collapse. The Cowboys should look to get back on track this week, open up things early, and test Washington's secondary down the field. Prescott's yards per attempt have been roughly 2 full yards below his career average, and after looking at a myriad of different factors, I think this is what has the Cowboys offense looking a bit off lately. Pushing the ball downfield forces the secondary to respect the shot play and home run attempt. Linebackers have to worry about getting to their drop a little more and can't play downhill as much. Taking the deep shot opens this offense up, and I think getting back to that is what fixes things. That is where Michael Gallup comes into play. Personally, I think he is the Cowboys' best deep threat between himself, Amari Cooper, and CeeDee Lamb. The other two are fantastic in route running and when they get the ball in their hands. Gallup brings another element of taking the top off of a defense and going and getting the deep ball. The Cowboys would be wise to try Gallup on some one-on-one fades, deep posts, and set up a few play-action shots to test the secondary. Trying deep shots does so much and can only help this offense. Gallup might be the X factor this week, but also the rest of the year, so they can get him going deep. Zeke and Pollard will see room up front for the underneath reads are less congested, and the Cowboys get their quick strike ability back. Give me a Gallup touchdown of, I'll say 40-plus yards Sunday night. To put it politely, Washington has been ravaged by COVID-19 on offense and defense. They started former Cowboy Garrett Gilbert at quarterback on Tuesday against the Eagles due to Taylor Heineke and Kyle Allen out due to COVID-19 protocols. With the first two quarterbacks questionable for Sunday, running back Antonio Gibson questionable, Curtis Samuel questionable, it doesn't leave many options for Washington. They got Terry McLaurin at receiver, but I think the Cowboys are going to have the luxury of Trayvon Diggs shadowing him and the freedom to shade a safety over the top if they wish to. That leaves tight end Ricky Seals-Jones as a target for Gilbert. Just makes sense. A backup quarterback shouldn't look to his tight end for easy throws and moving the chains. Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn knows this and will have safety linebacker coverage on Seals-Jones most of the day. I have horrid memories of Washington tight ends. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Chris Cooley and Jordan Reed, gashing the Cowboys up the seam, and this is one way that we may find luck on Sunday night. That is, if they have time. The Cowboys will have DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons, Randy Gregory, and Osa all rushing the passer. That pass rush has more firepower than most teams in the NFL can handle. So let's get to the bottom line and give you my projection. Dallas Cowboys 31, Washington football team 14. I'll say it. This is the week that the Cowboys offense is going to get back on track. It's prime time. It's the day after Christmas. It just feels like we got a little gift of seeing this team move the ball and put up points. Yes, it comes at the mercy of a backpedaling Washington team, but it truly is the perfect opportunity to find some rhythm and get this train back on track. As I mentioned in the previous few seconds, I believe we see Kellen Moore and Prescott open up the downfield passing game a bit more than we have seen in the past, and the rest falls into place. Tony Pollard looked very solid in his return last week and showed really no ill effects of his foot injury. I'd like to see him worked into the game plan more and more, maybe even be the main back on Sunday night. Give Zeke continued rest, let Pollard do his thing. Get him going in a rhythm and see what happens. The crowd will be behind the offense, and there will be chances to strike big. Prescott should get about 275 yards and 2 to 3 touchdowns in a game that'll right the ship for him. Toss in 150 on the ground between Pollard, Elliott, and even Lamb. And this offense hits a stride we haven't seen in a long time. Defensively, the Cowboys have been causing turnovers at a rapid rate. The interceptions are coming in bunches. The pass rush is creating fumbles, and the defensive backs are punching at balls. They are playing at a very high level. Sunday night will potentially give the defense to face Garrett Gilbert or Kyle Allen. The Dallas defense destroyed Mike Glennon, Giants backup, last Sunday, and would love to continue their havoc on another backup quarterback victim. These two teams are going drastically different directions, and the Cowboys should be able to handle things and beat up on an inferior team. That is what good teams do. They don't give up to lesser teams. Cowboys won this one pretty handily and give themselves to 11 wins in their pursuit of a high playoff seed. Before we move on, let us know in the comments section below, what do you think the final score will be? Let us know in the comment section or on Twitter. And now we're going to look at 3 playoff fixes for the Dallas Cowboys offense. Ladies and gentlemen, for all intents and purposes, your Dallas Cowboys are playoff bound. Yes, I know they've not officially clinched, but the eggs are cooling, the butter's getting hard, and the jello's jiggling. According to 538, the Cowboys have a more than 99% chance of winning the division. Obviously, winning the division gets them in the playoffs, but they also have a more than 99% of earning a playoff berth. Essentially, they are as close as you can be to mid-January football without actually having the golden ticket. Once that first goal is met, the next step is to secure the highest seed possible. Week 15 was extremely kind to Dallas in terms of seeding. Both the Cardinals and Buccaneers took unexpected losses, while the Cowboys won their third straight game. This scenario vaulted Dallas from number 4 in the NFC all the way up to number 2, one game behind Green Bay. Again, referring to 538, these results now give the Cowboys a 14% chance at a first-round bye. If Dallas wins out and the Packers slip up just once, the Cowboys will earn the number 1 seed. Of course, the main reason for the Cowboys being in the mix for this potential positioning has been the play of the defense. In 5 of the last 6 games, Dallas has allowed 20 points or fewer. The Cowboys have also caused 4 more turnovers in 3 straight games. An unreal stat, especially for this franchise. There's one Trayvon Diggs fact that is extremely embarrassing for Giants fans. It's not breaking news that the Dallas Cowboys cornerback Trayvon Diggs is taking the NFL by storm this season. In the Week 15 matchup against the New York Giants, Diggs caught his league-leading 10th interception of the season. This puts Diggs only 1 interception behind the Cowboys organization record of 11 and 4 interceptions behind the NFL record of 14. So far, the only other cornerback to come close to Diggs is New England's J.C. Jackson, who has 7 picks. To hit double digits, Diggs went up and caught an underthrown pass by backup Mike Glenn that was intended for wide receiver Kenny Golladay. Diggs caught the ball, but Golladay ripped it out of his hands, causing the refs to initially rule the play an incomplete pass. After head coach Mike McCarthy threw the challenge flag, the ruling was overturned. Diggs' interception. Yes, the Diggs interception was impressive, but perhaps what is even more mind-boggling is the fact that blogging the Boys manager Ray J. Ocho tweeted, touchdowns this season, Cowboys cornerback Trayvon Diggs 2, Giants wide receiver Kenny Golladay 0. The last 7 Trayvon Diggs interceptions came from Jalen Hurts, 2 from Sam Donald, Mac Jones, Matt Ryan, Taysom Hill, and Mike Glennon. And then RJ Ochoa originally started off the whole thing by saying on Twitter, Trayvon Diggs has caught more passes in the end zone at MetLife Stadium this season than Kenny Golladay, the wide receiver, who the Giants gave $72 million to. That's right, Diggs now has 1 snag in the end zone of MetLife Stadium. The Giants receiver has none. In fact, Golladay has 0 touchdowns on the entire season. Sure, Daniel Jones is hurt. Sure, Mike Glennon and Jake Fromm are not great quarterback replacements. Sure, Golladay missed 3 weeks of the season with an injury. But the 28-year-old receiver still only has 31 catches and 477 yards on the season. This has to be pretty upsetting for Giants fans who know that Golladay received a 4-year, $72 million deal with New York ahead of the season. This is not what the Giants were hoping for out of a guy known for being great with contested throws. Diggs, on the other hand, is still on his 4-year, $6.3 million rookie contract. We know Diggs will get paid a pretty penny when the time comes. Until then, we are rooting for him to inch closer and closer to history. And finally, taking a look at the power rankings, Dallas is making moves ahead of Week 16. Heading into Week 16, the Cowboys are sitting pretty at number 2 in the NFC playoff standings, that is. Although the Cowboys have won 3 games on the road, a big part of this shift is thanks to losses by other NFC teams. In two shocking Week 15 losses, the Lions defeated the Cardinals and the Buccaneers lost to the Saints. Even though Dallas has the same record as the Cards and Bucks, Dallas currently has the better in-conference record of 8-1. Sure, this might be partially due to the fact that the NFC East consists of some pretty lousy teams, but wins are wins, and America's team is happy to be moving on up. The Cowboys have another chance to secure an NFC East victory this Sunday as they take on the Washington football team at home at AT&T Stadium. Until then, let's take a look at where Dallas sits in the Week 16 power rankings and check up on their updated Super Bowl ads. Thanks to their win against the Giants and some pretty embarrassing losses by other NFC teams, the Cowboys have jumped up a few spots in almost all the power rankings. Most media outlets have America's team around the number 4 spot, not too shabby, but the offense continues to struggle in games, but the defense is making headlines and allowing this team to be at the top of the playoff conversation. The ESPN power rankings have Dallas at number 4, moving up 2 spots from number 6. NBC Sports Pro Football Talk also has Dallas at number 4. Above them, interestingly, are the Packers, Chiefs, and Rams. I'm not really sure the Rams deserve to be number 3 in the entire league. Well, that's just my opinion. FanSided has Dallas ranked the highest this week at number 3 behind the Packers and Chiefs. That's a 3-spot jump for the boys. And apparently the official NFL site is feeling grinchy during this Christmas week. They are one of the only power rankings that have the Cowboys below a number 4 spot and moving down from their position in the previous week. NFL.com has the Cowboys at number 8, moving down a spot from number 7. Unsurprisingly, the site blamed the offense, saying the boys have no chance if Prescott and his men don't get it together. And now, wrapping up, let's take a look at the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl odds heading into Week 16. Yes, we know, one game at a time, but let's take a peek at the Cowboys' chances to win the Super Bowl just for fun. According to WinBet, Dallas currently has plus 1,200 odds to win the Super Bowl at the time of this episode. They sit behind in descending order the Chiefs, Packers, Buccaneers, Rams, Patriots, and Bills. The Chiefs have plus 450 odds as of Thursday morning. That means you could bet $100 today for the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl, and if they do, they'll collect a $1,200 profit. A win against the COVID-riddled Washington football team could mean even better chances for the Cowboys to get there. For now, the goal is to continue to sweep the NFC East for the first time since 1998. And that is all the time we have for this episode of the Big D Breakdown. Let us know your thoughts on all the topics we covered. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter. Our handle is right above there. If you want to support the show, buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/thebigd. Allows us to upgrade our equipment, hire some new writers, bring in a host or two, and take this show on the road. It'd be kind of fun to have the show live from the parking lot of AT&T Stadium on game day. And as always, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Poddex. Don't forget to check out poddex.com and use the promo code Larry21 for 10% off your order. And as always, please hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. And if you didn't, give us a thumbs down. Be fair and give us a review. Find us. You can find us on all major podcast platforms. Check us out on Good Pods and leave us a review there. So thanks for watching. Happy holidays, and we'll see you next week.